2.5 hours separate Vanderbilt and the University of Louisville. A quick drive up Interstate 65 for a non-conference tilt between the Commodores and the Cards. Perhaps a budding women's lacrosse rivalry forming between these two squads. A little Tuesday matinee at U of L Lacrosse Stadium. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jeff Greer alongside Patty Norton. And Patty, this game in particular has a lot of implications for the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely. It's the time of year when you do NCAA math in your head, nonstop. You're down to 4 or 5 games, 5, 6 games. How many do I have to win to be considered? How many do I need to win to get in? 2
top 30 RPI squads playing in the slop. Maybe they love the slop here. It's the Derby City after all. 53 degrees, a steady drizzle is the weather forecast and current weather in Louisville. Well, we know that these two teams are in different places in their histories, but Vanderbilt back on the NCAA tournament radar in recent years, just went back last year. This is the 12th meeting, though, and Louisville has won a bunch of them.
Very similar footprints for these two programs. Same part of the country, not a lot of lacrosse history there. Recently, in the last 25 years of having a program, this is going to be fun to watch both teams grow.
Louisville trying to bounce back from back-to-back one-goal losses, and they're going to have to deal with Carly Bucci, who had a hat trick in the loss to Temple earlier this week.
Definitely coming on, as the season progresses, you need new people to step up to the mantle and take some of the pressure off your scorers, and Bucci has done that for the Commodores.
And how about Hannah Morris? 6 goals, Patty, 6
Crazy.
Against Ohio State.
So obviously she likes playing at the football stadium down the street, down Floyd Street, which is good because Louisville will face Notre Dame there in just a few weeks.
She has been electric this season, Canadian, leading the team in goals. Well, look at that. We're right on time. Louisville and Vanderbilt right here on the ACC network. And Maddie McKee and the Louisville Cardinals wearing red unis today. And on the road, Vanderbilt wearing their gold and black unis. And that is Megan Mangina's in the circle for Vanderbilt. And Patty, right off the bat, this is an area we know all season has been a big part of Scott Teeter's efforts to help his Louisville squad improve and get into the NCAA tournament, draw controls.
Absolutely. Huge focus of training, huge focus of figuring out, through their roster, who's going to handle most of them, if not all of them, and McKee has really stepped into that role for Louisville.
Vanderbilt off to a great start in that category. Actually, a couple percentage points behind Louisville for the season in their draw control.
But the camera was able to stay on the midfield long enough to see that Vanderbilt's Fogo, which is face-off and get-off, Megan Mandinas, who actually very familiar with this turf, played at Louisville for a couple seasons. She does a really good job of placing the ball where her steady sticks for the Commodores can pick it up, and then she hops right off the field.
Get a first look at Carly Bucci, who's had a great season for the Commodores. Mentioned earlier, made the tournament for the first time in a long time as a shot skips past Sarah Adesh, who's making the start today in goal for Louisville, her 6th start. I don't know if she got a stick on that. And we get a look there at number 1. That's Gabby Fournier, the 5th-year senior attacker, 78 career goals, 159 career assists, Patty. She is
definitely take her to lunch,
creator.
Take her to dinner, whatever you need to do. Like, listen, I want to start scoring. Where's my feeder? There she is. She's right there.
She's going to get a free position opportunity and the chance to do it herself here right off the bat. The New Jersey native a chance to give the visitors a lead inside 2 minutes. And it's deflected and saved by Adesh.
Takes it with the shoulder pad.
Sarah Adesh in goal today from Foxborough, Massachusetts, has been sharing the duties with Jay Pleck. And Scott Teeter told you, Patty, they may be
they're going to go 50-50 today. I'll tell you what, Adesh just made a very strong case in that extended possession that she's not letting anything by. Nothing too easy.
Louisville's record 5-7 doesn't show you the full story, and we'll get to this as the broadcast progresses, but this is a team that has played an absolutely murderous schedule because of how good the ACC is. You can get into the dance with a losing record.
Well, and just looking at, there's so many similarities, so many similar storylines between Vanderbilt and Louisville, especially when you get to this part of the season. You know, you can count on one or two fingers how many non-conference tries you get. So that means how many times do you make ripples outside of your conference before the end of the season that can be looked at when people are trying to consider who's getting in the NCAA tournament.
Louisville down under 30 seconds on this shot clock. There's Hannah Morris.
Oh,
good pass inside.
tried to get it
dangerous
inside.
Anyway.
Kind of a force.
And it's going to run long.
Vanderbilt gets it.
Vanderbilt with a defensive stand on the road to start things off. And we get a look at one of the two Sampone sisters, Ashley and Taylor, another duo that transferred from Louisville to Vanderbilt.
Right, so they're gonna start the game definitely with a little extra heat inside them. You know, they're gonna be rearing to go. Definitely know the turf well.
And of course, I'm sure their former teammates feel the same way, playing against familiar faces. Can be fun when you're not playing, and then
you know what?
The lines...
That's fun in the fall. It's not fun in the spring.
Once the whistle goes, the familiarity is more of a competitive thing, as inside Fournier almost able to catch that pass and
good
get on goal. Sarah Blaylock, who 2 minutes apart with her twin sister Caroline, both starting their 51st career games.
Lots of twins here today.
Yeah. And the Blaylock sisters have meant so much to this program over the years, and trying to finish out their careers with an NCAA tournament berth.
Yep, that is, I mean, if you're scripting a story, that's the way you want it to go. There's a lot of work to be done between here and that NCAA tournament. You can hear one of the parents in the stands. Oh my.
It was a heavy hit. Maggie Foster taking the brunt of it. Maggie, a junior from right here in Louisville, went to Eastern High School.
And Maggie helps a ton for Louisville, getting the ball down the field, and then she'll scoot out of the attacking third and get back to her defensive post.
Louisville back on the front foot. This is Hannah Morris.
Louisville without a shot on goal yet.
And Isabella Rulapa, number 3, had the ball just a second ago, is in the starting lineup today.
Yeah, definitely an opportunity for her to show what she can do ooh,
how about
great
that?
Feed.
First start gets the
Great
assist.
feed.
It's Hannah Morris who finishes it, and Isabella Rulapa, starting today for Tiffany Natoli, gets the assist, her 3rd of the season,
well
in
done.
her first career start.
That was a tight window.
Nice catch too, and a 1-0 lead for Louisville early on. And Patty, we've talked about fast starts for this Louisville squad. 39 goals, by the way, for Hannah Morris.
That'll work.
And last 2 games losing by a goal in heartbreaking fashion. We know how difficult the Virginia game was. We had that one. Ohio State was a big one, went to overtime after a big comeback. And they'll want to get some separation early in this one.
Basically, Louisville has shown that they are not losing steam at the end of a game, so you don't have to worry about saving legs, worrying about rotating the lines, things like that. Everybody's got the power at the end of the game. It's trying to figure out how to jump early and then keep your foot on the gas.
Here comes Vanderbilt. Carly Bucci, we talked about her in the pregame from New Canaan, Connecticut. Turnover.
Sarah on the spot each time.
A rare misstep from Gabby Fournier, and Sarah Blaylock scoops it up, and now Louisville will have the chance to take advantage.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you have so much, you use the next week or the next days after a game to evaluate what went wrong, and for both these squads having quite a few losses that are 1 or 2 goals, you look at something that feels like a silly, inconsequential mistake in quarter 1, and all of a sudden it's like, dang, if we add up all those quarter 1 missteps, we gotta win.
And there's a first look at Kokoro Nakazawa, who such an electric talent, trying to pass into the
Not sure
trees.
who that pass was going to. I saw a whole bunch of stickheads.
The referees have ruled that it's actually going to be Vanderbilt possession. Referees today, John Sherman MJ Ivagash and Julia Wakis. Having to navigate some ugly Louisville weather.
That was a good stick check right there.
Melissa Hawkins carrying it into the attacking space for Vanderbilt. Commodores 12-7 last year. They were 7-3 in the American Athletic Conference.
Let's see their patience.
Typically an SEC school in most sports, but they play lacrosse with Florida and a few other American.
Quarter one throwaways.
And that's a giveaway there for Vanderbilt. And Louisville now has possession. Ashley Osborne, the junior from here in town, went to Baylor High School. Restarts.
Doing a little 4-across ride, trying to clear that clear the ball into the offense. You know what? A really good job. Shown a few different things so far on clearing for Louisville. Definitely like one person just taking it, and then a nice spread across the field passing, and
a little bit more of a team dynamic on that, because Sarah Blaylock was really trying to sprint into space against Virginia. Obviously a scouting report difference, I would imagine.
Well, and also this is your last shot outside of conference. That was definitely apparent, informing the referees that she was crossing the line.
Carly Bucci trying to get to that loose ball, and instead Louisville turns it over again.
Something in the water today, both sides.
We are halfway through this first quarter, just 1-0. Both of these teams now with a handful of turnovers.
I don't know if they're just trying to feel out each other's offenses. You could see that right now. You'll see Louisville in a man-to-man, which is a little bit different for how they start. So we'll see. We shall see. I don't know if Vanderbilt's trying to, understand the pressures in the man-to-man, like where will they pick them up? How close can we get before they start pinching in?
Back behind the frame, this is Maddie Souza. Vanderbilt very patient here.
Yeah, real patient.
More than halfway through the shot clock, trying to move Louisville around a little bit.
And making extra certain in this possession to make eye contact. Oh, off the pipe.
Rattles the piping. Carly Bucci. A nice feed there from Souza.
Wow.
And a real hustle to try to get to the loose ball. Yeah, I think
Louisville outran they got to the line first. They broke the tape.
So Louisville will get a possession there after dodging a bullet from Bucci.
I was crediting Vanderbilt though with definitely you could feel the eye contact being made before passes were being made. It's something that you're taught in probably 3rd grade. See where you're throwing
and they were simple
see who you're catching
too,
in front.
Right. They were making sure
they were making sure nothing too crazy.
Dots were being connected.
Hold possession. And they did a good job. I mean, a shot off the pipe is nothing. I mean, that's part of game plan, right? That means it's a good shot. It's not in the body of the goalie, and you just happen to catch pipe.
Louisville now in possession, showing similar patience.
Which they need to. The last 2 attempts to feed it inside were a little reckless.
Bella Karstein, All-ACC freshman squad a year ago. Rulapa. Back out front to Karstein again.
All right, down to about 20 seconds.
Morris spins away. It got deflected in.
But let me tell you what, somebody got
It was
rocked.
Allegra Catalano who is still holding her shoulder. It looked like she took the deflection.
She might have been, her body put the ball in the goal. I think that's what happened.
Score it some way.
Way to use your head.
The Cardinals will take it. That's where we'll leave things. Louisville getting goals however they can, up 2-0 on Vandy in the first. Got to break out the big umbrellas for a Tuesday matinee matchup between Vanderbilt and Louisville. Drizzling here, but lots to play for between the Commodores and Cardinals. Both of these teams in the top 30 in the RPI trying to get into the NCAA tournament. And Patty, there's a number of things that are important, and we talk a lot about strength of schedule with Louisville, Vanderbilt, of course, having some good wins in there as well.
Right. Well, and if you look at that, how to build your NCAA case, if you right off the very first bat, the very first tick mark, wins over ranked opponents, Vanderbilt has that with the win over Notre Dame. Louisville, their case for that win over ranked opponent is going to lie on Virginia Tech at this point as they're climbing. Strength of schedule, both teams have it with a bulk of their strength still ahead of them. You know, Louisville still has Syracuse and Notre Dame ahead of them. Vanderbilt still has Florida ahead of them. So it's going to be, this is really, really a huge game. There are people that are on the selection committee right now that I guarantee are watching this game. Oh my gosh, go to goal.
Well,
Holy
what
moly.
a way to run through. A big goal for Louisville to take a 3-0 lead. It was Haley Reek, the freshman, hustling through the middle and getting her second goal in as many games.
Freshman, who said you could do that? Oh no, go ahead. That's when you start yelling, no, pass. Oh yeah, go, good job.
That was a long run from Haley Reek and a great finish with zip to it.
And it didn't look like she threw a fake or anything, but you could kind of see her stick head kind of started going straight and then whipped left at the very last minute. Wow, we've seen 3 unique goals so far this game.
Yeah.
1, Hannah Morris just ripping it. 2, Hannah Morris just ripping it should really get the assist for deflecting it off the pipe and then off a teammate. And then Reek just saying, I'll take care of this right here. Thank you very much.
And that is a statement goal for the Cardinals as she ran through the midfield and finished with authority. They now lead 3-0 here in this first quarter.
Good job by McKee to stick with that.
Maddie McKee, the LaSalle transfer, has been a huge upgrade for them on draw controls, Louisville, and has done a good job so far today.
Got to be impressed with Louisville's defense, though, because even when they did not get that draw control, defense did such a solid job, including Adesh, of keeping the ball out of the back of the net.
There's Allegra Catalano, who appears to be okay after taking a rebound off what appeared to be the
So
shoulder.
let's talk about that for 1 second. We talk about, oh, Hannah Morris shoots really hard. Okay, whatever. But it was going one direction, came back the other, and it still hurt her.
As Blaylock's shot is saved there. Yeah, certainly not a good feeling. You know, the lacrosse ball is used for recovery purposes on your muscles.
Because it's rigid.
Because it's rigid and you're laying on it, not when you're taking a dart off of your shoulder from a teammate. Is another turnover for Vanderbilt.
That is a frustration factor. You know what? It's like there's a big magnet right there in that part of the stands, because at least 3 of the throwaways in this first quarter for Vanderbilt have happened right there.
That's now 4 turnovers for the Commodores.
Good job by Sarah Blaylock.
Sarah Blaylock
getting it through the middle.
Gets the whistle and continues on. And now the Cardinals can settle in.
And then she'll get out of the offense.
Final 3 minutes of the first quarter.
Ooh.
And we got a whistle in front of the goal.
Might be getting a free position.
It was Paige Richborg, the senior from Virginia, who took a hit, and she'll have a free position opportunity for the Cardinals. Just 47 of 91 so far this season as a team.
Oh,
well,
that'll work.
There's one more.
Bounce it in.
To the good, Paige Richborg with the goal for the Cardinals.
Position goal by number 13, Paige Richborg.
You know, so that's a page-to-page situation. Paige Gunning, the goalkeeper for Vanderbilt, has a really wide base, so that opens up the 5-hole, which is exactly where Richborg was going.
The 11th goal of the season for Paige Richborg. And Louisville in command early, up 4-0. A very different position than the last 2 times out. They had to work their way back against Virginia and against Ohio State, and here they're in command early.
You know, one big similarity for these 2 squads, after having a chance to chat with both coaches, is both uttered the statement, if it wasn't for that 1 bad quarter. So in any of their really big games that they end up falling up short, either in overtime or whatever, they could each credit it to, we were with them play for play. Like, we were with that team play for play, 1 bad quarter. So right now, Vanderbilt has 2 minutes and 51 seconds to make sure that this is not that one bad quarter. Try and put a couple goals on the board.
Back into the center circle. And it does end up with Vanderbilt. Collected on a hop there by Bree Gross, who is the leading scorer for this Commodores squad.
Interesting if you start to see the patience erode for Vanderbilt.
Commodores, lots of time left, but they are facing a 4-goal deficit on the road.
No extended pressure for Louisville makes sense with a 4-goal lead. This is when those long shot clocks are like, really? Is it really only 50 seconds left?
Maddie Souza had that really nice pass to
That's a
Bucci.
good feed inside.
And another
Wow.
good pass in there, but good
Tough
defending
hit.
from Louisville.
Tough hit, ejected the ball.
Paige Finneran with the ground ball scoop up.
I mean, bodies all over the place.
Down to 25 seconds in this possession.
Uh-oh. She got her hips turned. Thought she was going to blow by. Woo!
And there's a shot in from a tight angle.
That was from 65.
That is really difficult to score. And Maddie Souza, the senior from Alamo, California, ripped it in.
Wow. Not only is that far from the goal, but the angle at which that's coming in leaves just a sliver of a pie slice for the ball to make it actually into the goal.
You have to think she saw Adesh look away for that 1 second and maybe think she could sneak it up over her, as that's the now 12th goal of the season for Maddie Souza.
And the coach is saying, thanks, we just needed one. We just needed one to open up the goal.
It's a big finish, and it's 4-1 now Louisville with a minute and a half to go. Beth Hewitt, the coach for Vanderbilt in her 5th year, 33-22 overall, took them to the NCAA tournament last year for the first time in 11 seasons. Was a superstar at UNC, All-American, and has made stops at Oregon as well as Lemoyne. Hoping that program transition to D2.
That draw got pushed all the way into the offensive end.
And Vanderbilt and Beth Hewitt's squad, they're going to have possession here in the final minute and 17, perhaps. Maybe they can get one more back before the break.
That's their game plan. They're going to try. They're definitely going to try and score here. It's going to be interesting to see if they play it out to get for the last shot. You definitely don't want Louisville to have an opportunity to score one more before the break.
There's a goal scorer, Souza. Seeing if there's anything in the middle. Vanderbilt ever so patient. Paige Finneran down to 40 seconds.
Woo! Osborne made a
there.
She
and
made
a goal score.
She made a calculated risk, Ashley Osborne for Louisville, trying to jump out and jump the pass, and that left her man wide open to curl right in and score that goal.
It was Ellie Hilsebeck, the sophomore from Hingham, Massachusetts, who takes advantage of the risk-taking.
See that? Like, what? And in a man-to-man situation, I mean, that's your girl.
Olivia Toll tried to slide over and help out, but Hilsebeck too quick, and a tight finish has Vanderbilt halving Louisville's lead just before the end of the first quarter. 4-2 now Cardinals. Still enough time.
Yeah, we said at that draw at 4-0, Vanderbilt had 2 minutes and 51 seconds to try and make this not the bad quarter. I think they've done just that. They still have half a minute to creep
it's
to
a
within
big draw
one.
control.
Sure is. Oh, that was a great scoop out of the air.
And it's Caroline Blaylock who took the hit after getting her stick on it.
Clock is rolling.
Clock is rolling, but Louisville has an opportunity to move here quickly if they can. We have seen them score.
Go the other way.
In very dramatic, quick fashion, and that's what they're going to have to do here. Final 10 seconds. Sarah Blaylock carrying it into the attacking area. Nice pass.
Gotta go. 2,
Hannah
1.
Morris has to get a shot away and can't. And that's where we will leave it. Louisville and Vanderbilt, a budding rivalry in women's lacrosse, and they're putting on a good show so far. 4-2 after 1. Scott Teeter's Cardinals at home and in front after 1 quarter, but Vanderbilt has scored the last 2. It's a 4-2 game at U of L Lacrosse Stadium. It does look like the rain has slowly but surely slowed down and even gone away at times between these two teams having to play through it, but Louisville got off to a great start, Patty, and Vanderbilt chipped away at the end of the quarter.
Absolutely. You know, we talked about in the beginning of the game, you know, the goal is to have a great start, but then keep your foot on the gas. No weird, you know, don't let your guard down, don't give away free anything. And it feels like there were 2. One was just an advantageous shot by the Commodores that it was. I mean, you would not expect that shot to come from where she shot it from. But the other one was a man-to-man defensive risk, and interesting to see if they stick with man-to-man, maybe throw in a little bit of zone here and there. On the Commodore side, all they need to do is they showed in the last snippet of that quarter, if you don't throw the ball away, you have great shots to score.
And it's required that against this pressure Louisville defense, this 1v1 defense, you've got to be very safe with your passing at times. And Vanderbilt navigating some early turnovers to get some good possessions back together and get this game back to a little bit more of a manageable score.
Great draw control by Caroline Blaylock.
And they needed that. Louisville back even 4-4. Blaylock has made 2 really nice catches off of draws.
You know, just knowing the play of Meg Manginas, she's normally a draw control specialist that likes to see the referee, and when she sees the whistle blow, isn't that weird to say? Like when you see the whistle blow, you hear it, but something about her visual, she likes to see the ref, and at that last draw control, the ref stood behind her, so it's tough.
It's another Bill Belichickian scouting report thing here.
Whereas Maddie McKee likes to watch the ball in the sticks, if you watch where their eyes are looking.
Hannah Morris just tried to dribble or carry into a crowded area, but drew the free position opportunity out of it.
It's a tough hash, but we've seen it score from there earlier today.
She scored from a free position against Ohio State. Trying to find 2
She scored every way
today.
possible against Ohio State.
Oh. And she does. Goal number 2 of the afternoon, and the hot streak continues for Hannah Morris.
Now, this is a very accomplished goalie between the pipes for Vanderbilt. And the scouting report on her is, listen, she has a wide base, but she's a strong tracker, and you have to throw a fake unless you're Hannah Morris. Literally, that's the scouting report. Everybody has to throw a fake to make her move or make her track somewhere else, and then you can shoot, but Hannah Morris is just permitted to shoot.
Paige Gunning now has surpassed, or at least will momentarily, the 600-minute mark for the season. But Hannah Morris has 40 goals this season and has proven to be tough for any goalkeeper to stop.
What a great progression, you know, the way you want to see a player progress over 4 years. That's pretty much the prototype of a path you want to make, what she just showed.
One of several Canadian players, as you would expect. You saw Scott Teeter's info a little bit earlier, the U19 Canada national team coach. And of course, as part of that, you would expect a Canadian pipeline to come to Louisville. Coached at Canisius for a long time, 15 years, and that's basically Canada as well.
Yeah.
So pipeline
it's
continues.
Canada adjacent.
It's okay, guys. Patty is from up there,
yeah,
so
I'm
it's
from
okay
Buffalo.
for us to
all right.
make that joke. She's not offended. I know some people might be. As we restart here, 5-2 Louisville.
Oh, man, genius. Oh!
And a whistle goes.
The old ball flick. Louisville should get possession here.
Megan Manginas arguing it, but is not going to win that argument. Got to respect it.
Oh, what a great smell. Fun kid. Now that's where you can see like it's fun coming out and playing your own teammates. Like, dude, you've seen me do this in practice. She's like, wait, what? Just a ball? Huh? Not me.
Try to casually throw it with her hand.
I heard Mulligan yelled, clearly. I heard it.
Well, that will give Louisville a player-up opportunity here for a minute. And the Cardinals were given possession anyway, so they will now have a chance to take advantage here, see if they can get back to a 4-goal lead. The downside to hitting the turf like that, you can see her knees with the rubber tire treads. It's painful to fall on at times.
Still pleading her case. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Comes Louisville into possession. We haven't had a chance to say Nicole Perrone's name very much today so far. Number 88, 31 goals this season for the Canadian.
Yeah, she's been a little quiet this morning.
She has been fantastic this season for Louisville, and here she is. Now Bella Karstein.
Oh, wait.
Good pass inside.
Yeah, Caroline Blair was very open inside. And perhaps it was because, I mean, maybe it's a scouting report, because we've seen the one shot she took was very simply handled by the goalie. Yeah, that was right around the head.
And that's a high hit on Hannah Morris. And the whistle goes. It's Melissa Hawkins who is running off.
That's their #1 defender. And literally, the Louisville Scouting Report says, do not go against her 1v1. Unless you're Hannah Morris.
Well, now here we are with
two
Vanderbilt players off to the side.
Need more chairs. Courtney Jackson sitting there at the table. Ops for Louisville, go get more chairs.
If you can read lips, Melissa does not agree with that call,
no.
But Louisville will have possession here. 20 more seconds.
There it is.
Manginas on the sidelines, and a goal scored for Louisville has them back up to a 4-goal deficit.
I mean, no pressure, but Louisville had to score with that advantage. Basically, if you would have gotten away from that 2-up advantage, it would have been a win for Vanderbilt. Their confidence would have soared, so had to put it in there.
Caroline Blaylock does a little bit of everything for Louisville, and 22 goals now this season for her.
She really didn't throw a fake, but you could see as as she got closer to the goal, she brought her stick and her shoulders in and down, which made the goalie feel like she was going low. Goalie came out on her, left up high. And that's exactly where Caroline put the ball.
It started 4-0. Vanderbilt got 2 back at the end of the first quarter, but Louisville back up 4 early in this second quarter.
Okay, full pressure.
Melissa Hawkins back out there, Bree Gross trying to spur her team back into it.
Now Vanderbilt has shown how quickly they can score back-to-back goals, so they're going to be their to-do list right now.
Louisville actually has come back to win the last 3 draw controls. They are currently +1 in that category.
False start from
Louisville. Yeah, Louisville keeps the ball. And that's now 6-4 in draw controls as Perrone navigates through some pressure.
That's one of the drawbacks of a FOGO, meaning you have to make that player switch right away after the draw control. You don't have to. It's a schematic choice of the coaching staff. But that leaves no pressure at the restraining line. So right there, you saw Louisville was stuck up at the restraining line having to pass along it. Now, if you have midfielders standing right there at the restraining line, they can be swatting at your stick head, like right there, number 7 would do.
There's Kokoro Nakazawa. Nice pass to Hannah Morris in a blazer, but the whistle had gone first.
Woo!
And it doesn't matter, the goal counts. Hannah Morris with an absolute laser beam has Louisville up 7-2.
I'll tell you what, so you're looking at that and being like, shoot, I could shoot from anywhere. Some of them are gonna go in. But in order to recognize that it's not a dangerous shot, meaning there's no, human torso in the way that you could hit, like that's a skill. It's a gift.
Shot so hard the camera couldn't even see the ball. I didn't see it go by. And Hannah Morris now with 41 goals this season. And in her last now into this 5th game. She has scored 3 against UNC, 3 against Duke, 2 against Virginia, 6 against Ohio State. And here she is with a hat trick again today. So blazing hot goal scoring run for Hannah Morris.
And a whole lot of game left to play.
A senior from Ontario. She's 2nd all-time in scoring at Louisville behind Caroline Blaylock. It's too big of a deficit to catch up, but she's trying.
Yeah. Well, and that's all scoring. That's points, correct? Like assists and goals, or just goals?
Just goals.
Oh. You know, you have to think that older players, I'm going to get in trouble for saying older players, but players, alumni that have graduated in years past are going to get so frustrated because record books are about to be shredded across the nation because of COVID years, because of, you know, the half year plus COVID year. So if you were a, you know, all year player, like if you started playing as a freshman, like time on the field as a freshman, your numbers started rolling and you pretty much have 6 seasons. I mean, it's going to be a unique set of years that those players, you know, it's only going to happen in this little era right now, but it's still going to be something that, are there going to be an asterisk there for like 6 years, or like what's going to happen?
Well, you were right. It's overall scoring, not just goals. I apologize.
Okay. That makes sense because Kay
Adesh.
Morris, that's got to be up there.
Yeah, Morris is up to 84 goals coming into today, and now is up to 87 for her career, and has been an electric goal scorer for the Cardinals. Caroline Blaylock, assists and goals. 7-2 here as we approach the 11-minute mark, and Ashley Osborne took a heavy hit.
Tried to get the pass off. Great defense by the Vanderbilt to, you know, stickhead to stickhead, just intercept it, but intercepted it right out of bounds while making contact.
Osborne with a nice long pass there to get things over the line for Maggie Foster. And Louisville's players taking a little bit of some beatings here.
Well, that's a 5-goal deficit. That's you know to expect that.
10 fouls to 2 now, 11 fouls to 2 on
Frustration
Vanderbilt.
factor.
This is the 2 back-to-back quick fire ones. This is Rulapa trying to get inside and had it knocked away. 1v3.
That's when the pass is supposed to be pulled out of your tool belt and send the ball to somebody else.
Kayla Rue trying to navigate the midfield for Vanderbilt.
Great pressure. All right, let's see what kind of offense. They've had a lot of rest down there in the Vanderbilt offensive end. See what they can string together.
This is Melissa Hawkins carrying it into the attacking area. A full minute to go on this possession clock. Big opportunity here for Vanderbilt to get one back in under 10 minutes in this second quarter.
Yeah, it looks like we've shifted to a zone. Maybe not. I couldn't see there. We got a couple players out of frame. Couldn't tell.
And a quick turn back around there. It was Ellie Hilsebeck again trying the old wraparound, but Adesh was keen to it. That's 4 saves now for Sarah Adesh in this first half.
Great job. And that just, whoop. Second time in a row, Louisville's just kind of gone like a bull in a china shop trying to take the ball where they want to instead of looking at teammates. Both times ending up in a turnover.
Maddie Souza carrying it ahead, and Bree Gross enters the attacking area. Lots of time on this clock for Vanderbilt to work it around.
You think Vanderbilt would want to start running their cutters and plays a little bit quicker into the shot clock because they've got some ground to make up. Can't leave all that scoring for the second half.
This is Bree
they want to get at
Gross.
least 2. You want to cut the deficit from 5 to at least 3 or 2 before halftime. And then it's anybody's ball game in the second half. That's the mindset you've got to be going into with each possession.
It did only trail Temple 9-6 at halftime the last time out, but Temple ran away with it in the second half.
one bad quarter.
Yep, 7-1 in the fourth quarter, and they pulled away for an 11-goal win. Vandy still probing, trying to figure out what they might be able to find. Paige Finneran. Nice pass.
Good feed.
Good goal for Vanderbilt. It's Kayla Rue, the junior, off the nice find. And it's 7-3 Louisville as Vandy gets one back.
And that felt like just a wonderful execution of offense. They waited till the opportunity presented itself, didn't force it inside. Great pass inside, great feed to a goal.
6th goal of the season for Kayla Rue has Vanderbilt back within 4. Under 8 minutes to go at U of L Lacrosse Stadium. Back here in Louisville, and it has been a banner start to the day for Sarah Adesh. A couple of saves maybe she didn't know a whole lot about, but her stick has been well placed. Good reaction saves here, Patty.
I love her composure. You see 0 jerky movements, 0 I definitely didn't flinch, even to the grill. But definitely her composure, and her teammates feel that, right? Like the defense around her, they don't feel nervous. They feel that composure, that poise between the pipes.
Well, they are working on filling the void of a 3-year starter, Rachel Florek. The most saves in U of L history, is 6th all-time in goals against average in program history, 3rd in save percentage. Obviously played a lot for Louisville, and Sarah Adesh and Jay Pleck, who we're expecting to see in the second half, have shared the duties pretty well this season.
Man, and I just loved the last time out, you could see Coach Daly for Louisville speaking with both goalies together, and just the interactions of all 3 of them. It's just a big old love fest. Like, everybody's supporting each other. It's a good feeling. It's a good vibe.
Louisville feeling like they should have made the tournament last year at 5-11. They felt like their computer numbers warranted it, and they're trying to leave a little bit less to chance.
The bottom line for Louisville is they need another other than Pitt. So they have a ACC win over Virginia Tech. They should, for all intents and purposes, get an ACC win over Pittsburgh, the brand new team. But then they need another, or this one. Whoa!
A nice pass inside.
That was a great feed, just
and it was
wide.
Kayla Rue who fizzed her shot just wide. She had a good look at it. Vanderbilt will keep possession with a minute on the clock.
Big wrap. Oh. If Sarah Blaylock just did not let that left arm extend, it was exquisite defense till that last second.
Instead, Gabby Fournier, the all-everything for Vanderbilt, will have a free position opportunity. 2-time all-conference, was a high school All-American, getting her master's in finance this year at Vanderbilt.
Wow, ops to pass.
Quick pass in, and an opportunity for a second. There was a window there for Nancy Halloran, but she didn't take it.
Right in the middle.
Instead, Vandy will restart its offense.
Man, what an improvement on Ashley Osborne's feet. Not once do you see her popping her hips open to try and catch up with a player. Her lateral movements improved so much.
Bucci tried to shot over and fizzed up and over the bar, but her team keeps possession. Final 10 seconds, looking for Bucci again in the middle. Really well defended from Louisville after the free position opportunity.
Caroline Blaylock did a great job of screening the Commodore from getting near that until it could roll out of bounds.
A little basketball boxing out.
Yeah, absolutely.
They did play high school basketball together, the Blaylock sisters, so some experience there. Now Louisville a chance to settle in.
It was a really good clear by Bella Karstein. You'll see a lot of, you should see a lot of patience now for Louisville, and you're going to start to see perhaps a little extended pressure from Vanderbilt. That's exactly where Rula Paul lost it the last time. She's 0 for 2, charging from that goal line extended, so I think that'll be a point of instruction next time at the sideline.
Freshman thought she had a little bit of a bigger avenue that time, and for a split second it looked like she did, but Vanderbilt
there were still the
keen to
same 3 suspects converging on her, and she's got her vision just needs to get, her vision will catch up to the speed of the game, and she'll see them a step and a half before she does currently, and then that pass will come from her.
Well, Vanderbilt early on had 5 quick turnovers to Louisville's 2, but Louisville now is caught up and has 6 for the game.
Ashley Osborne is just doing a phenomenal job of eliminating the curl, like eliminating somebody wrapping around from behind the cage and sneaking one in. Good patience though for Vanderbilt. They're not trying to force anything inside. They're down to 25 seconds on the shot clock.
Clock is ticking, and that's a
they're
heavy hit. Coming from
get a shot
behind,
here.
it was Ava Coyle, the freshman from Philly.
And she's going to need to take a minute to think about that.
That was a heavy hit from behind, and it will be Kayla Rue who will have the free position opportunity.
I really like when somebody's first and last name sound like one word.
It's an easy name to say, and she's
like
got an opportunity here that she hopes is easy. 2 minutes, though, on the clock for the player-up opportunity for Vanderbilt. Trying to chip away at this 4-goal deficit.
See if Adesh can do one at point blank.
Rue already has 1 goal today, and she opts to keep the possession.
It's the second. Maybe there's certain kids that if they're at a certain hash, like if the hash isn't 3 of the center hashes, that's the tip to pass it out.
So whistle in the area.
Shooting, it's got to be shooting space.
It's going to be a free position opportunity for Vanderbilt, and it's Haley Gottenauer who will do it. Gottenauer 2 goals, 4 assists this season. Gottenauer, one of a number of Maryland natives on the field and on Vanderbilt today. And she opts to pull back out as well.
3 for 3. Free positions turned into passes. Oh, there's the pass inside.
Another heavy hit, and again, it'll be another free position opportunity. Maddie Souza coming up for air. She has a goal already for Vanderbilt. And this is a decent angle for her. You'd think she might be a shooter here.
I think she's going. I would have lost a lot of money if we bet on each of the last 3, though.
There you go. She seemed like the most likely candidate, but here they are restarting.
And she's right in front of the goal.
They have 1 minute and 20 seconds left on this player-up opportunity. Souza trying to get inside. Cut off, though. Good defending from Maggie Foster. Vanderbilt's passing, picking up, and a goal scored. Really nicely finished at a tight angle from Carly Bucci off the great passing.
Great passing, great patience. I mean, they outlasted my patience. I would have shot like so much sooner. Definitely the free position opportunities. They waited for the perfect time.
The senior from Connecticut now has her first goal of the day, coming off a hat trick against Temple. 21 goals this season. Tied now for the team lead with Bree Gross. And it's back to a 3-goal lead for Louisville.
I mean, they're really, that was an excellent possession as far as frustrating Louisville, right? Louisville's shown 0 frustration. They've had a lot of patience and seems to be taking whatever shot they wish on offense. But this is the first time now all of a sudden it's like, 3 minutes till half. We were up 5 and now we're only up 3. And we talked about that was the perfect game plan for the remainder of the half for Vanderbilt, and that's where they are right now.
3:19 to go here in the second quarter. Back in the circle, it's Manginas and McKee. And Vanderbilt is able to corral it through Kayla Rue. A chance to get it down to a 2-goal deficit for the Commodores.
Now you're looking at like a 4-minute stint of Louisville defense having to perform consistently, without that, by deferring those free position shots and holding for that perfect goal, they've really kept the pressure on Louisville's defense. Oh!
And 5-hole.
Wow.
It's Maddie Souza. And it's 7-5 Louisville as Vanderbilt gets a couple back in quick fire succession.
Goal, Vanderbilt, number 12, Maddie Souza.
Excellent strategy, great leadership for Vanderbilt, keeping them calm. No need to. We saw some of when it was immediately 5-goal difference. That's when some of those fouls happened. But they calm themselves down, get a goal here and there, get a stop here and there, get a draw control here and there. It's a ball game.
Maddie Souza with her 2nd goal of the day, 13th of the season. Vandy has scored 3 straight goals, 3 different goal scorers in Rue, Bucci, and Souza. And it's a 7-5 game just before halftime.
Definitely coming from leadership, though. Rua Jr., the other 2 seniors. So definitely the grown-ups for Vanderbilt have been trying to tell the squad, don't worry, we got this. We know how good we are. We just have to have a chance to show it.
Back in the circle where Vanderbilt
melee
has won 7 of the last 7 of 13, now 8 of 14 draw controls as the whistle goes there for Kayla Rue.
Little road rash on the thigh for good measure, and Vanderbilt gets the ball.
Vandy has had a lot of possession here in the second part of this second quarter.
Definitely from the 8-minute mark on.
We said they've scored 3 goals in a row here, but that's over 5 minutes and 12 seconds that they've done it. Under 2 minutes.
I definitely don't think it's to the fault of Adesh, but I think if Coach Teeter keeps that game plan of switching at halftime, I think it's a great bonus for Louisville to have an equally skilled goalie with different tendencies to be between the pipes for Vanderbilt to have to deal with in the second half. I think that's a really good advantage for them.
Long pass there from Adesh to Maggie Foster.
That's all confidence. Like if you have that cross-field pass from a goalie is 100% confidence. So she's actually feeling good today. She's earned it.
Really well.
Yeah, she's earned it.
Kokoro Nakazawa in possession now for
hello.
Louisville.
Hello, Vanderbilt defense. We haven't seen you in a while.
Final minute of this first half.
You guys still out here? Oh, okay.
Izzy Holmes, the junior, in possession for Louisville. Hannah Morris trying to keep her hot streak going, and she does.
On earth? How did she get that stick head free? That she was sandwiched between bodies, and her stick was literally sandwiched between 2 straight up sticks. So I have no idea how she was able to free the stick head to put that into the. And if you've ever tried to shoot a goal, you'll understand. I don't know how this.
That is ridiculous. Took a
That's
hit.
crazy.
Her goggles were jostled. It came off. And Hannah Morris, 4 goals today, 10 now in the last 3 halves of lacrosse. 41 for the season.
Well, so now is it 42? She's killing it.
Yes, now
She's
it's 42.
She's killing it.
She is having a standout season for Louisville. We'll have to peruse the record books at halftime and see where she stands now all time in goal scoring. But Hannah Morris is having herself another game.
Right now she's saying, McKee, get the ball. I'll get back out there. Look at the different strategies being used. So Louisville midfielders involved in the draw stand on the circle. Vanderbilt's don't want to show where they're going to go. And a lot of times I can't hear what's being, still up in the air.
Quite the scrum there, and eventually it ends up with Kylie Dobson. Good effort there to get away from the defenders and then find a teammate. And with 30.8 seconds left in this first half, we have a whistle.
I think we're
And
getting
a
a
timeout here. I think Louisville called it. So the Cardinals up 3 with 30.8 seconds to go are going to draw something up for Scott Teeter.
Oh, he's going to show us.
This is where you need the get-back coaches and the guys with the
That's
poster
right.
boards and all those things to block
Hide
the
it.
camera. They'll use the teammates instead. We talked earlier about the NCAA tournament, Patty, and this is a big game because they may not be ranked opponents, but they are top 30 opponents for both of these squads.
Which is significant. That's when you, if you're in the war room for the selection committee, they'll call them tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, and it's how they break up the RPI rankings. And then basically they'll put up losses against tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and then you'll just see who ends up in which column. So it's legit all math. Until it gets down to head-to-head situations. And this is a huge head-to-head for either one that walks out with this win. Huge head-to-head.
25th and 26th in this grouping. And Scott Teeter did say before the Ohio State game that they've got to win 4 of 6, he thinks, to get into the NCAA tournament. You mentioned the Pittsburgh game, the game today. They've got some opportunities, but we know it's just never going to be easy in the ACC.
No, but it's never going to be easy if you're in the AC, but there's always going to be opportunity. But look at what's on that screen right now. Number 20, Ohio State, Louisville, literally a bunches of hours ago, we're in overtime against that squad. And if that would have gone just one goal the other way, look at the difference, a 5-spot difference in the RPI. They get you.
There's a bunch of teams on there. You see Virginia, you see Colorado.
That are all, Virginia and the Ohio State 1-goal games.
Yeah. Bunch of important matchups for Louisville through the course of this season. 34 seconds back on the clock, so they added about 3.2 to the clock, and that'll give Louisville the opportunity to see if they can get something going.
That was an excellent call timeout. You have, 34 seconds. You want to draw up a play. You want to get a goal before halftime.
And here we go. Final 30 seconds of this first half. Louisville took an early 4-goal lead, 4-0. They went up 7-3, and now they want to see if they can get another 4-goal lead, but we get a whistle that will force Louisville back out of the area as the players waiting for the explanation, and the clock is running. Allegra Catalano restarts quickly, the clock wasting about 5 seconds as they were waiting for the referees to restart play. Down to 10 seconds.
Oh.
It almost bounced all the way through to the frame, and instead it's going to be a turnover, and that's how this half is going to end.
Yep.
Louisville 8, Vanderbilt 5. It has been an enjoyable matchup so far with both teams going on their runs.
Still anybody's ball game.
Anybody's ball game, but Louisville certainly will feel like they are in a slightly better position at U of L Lacrosse Stadium. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll get you stats, highlights, and all that good stuff as the Cardinals lead the Commodores in a non-conference tilt just a couple hours apart on I-65.
So I've had the chance to be part of U of L Athletics for almost 20 years. So I came here first as a student athlete on our women's soccer team, and then I've stayed here in administration. I think it's interesting because when you've been someplace for so long and you're in it day to day, you know you've made strides, but rarely do you take the time to step back and reflect and to see the true strides that we've made.
Having such an incredible support from our community means the world to not only me, but my teammates as well, and we're just very grateful, and it's also a very humbling situation because not everyone gets that right. Louisville's facilities, coaches, and support staff, they're everything. Without them, we really wouldn't be where we are, so I think each and every day we get to grow as a program because we have such amazing people and facilities.
I have fond memories of my time competing at the University of Louisville. I can remember walking onto the field at the NCAA tournament in the Sweet 16, and truly it was a once in a lifetime type moment. My time at Louisville was absolutely instrumental in preparing me for the business career that I have since served. My path was truly paved in gold to be able to enter the workforce and be a leader in the pack for sure.
I hope to leave the legacy that team success is so much more than individual success, and every time I get an individual award, Danny always prefaces the announcement with, "This is a team award." Like, nothing comes to the individual without team success, and I think that that's part of the culture we're creating here.
Across the board, our women's sports teams here are really impressive, and they continue to get better and better and continue to set new boundaries for their sports. So it's really cool to see field hockey get to their first ever Final Four, and the women's basketball went back-to-back ACC championships. So you just keep seeing great things happening in the women's sports here at Louisville, and I think it's because of support from the community, but support with inside the athletic department, and you gotta have great support to have great success.
It means the world to me to be able to bring a national championship to Louisville. It's always been a dream of mine since I got here, and I couldn't imagine doing it anywhere else. So to all the young girls out there, work hard in everything you do. Don't let anyone get in the way of your dreams and your goals, and make sure to love yourself through everything.
We've come so far, but what I'm really excited about is that I think we're just getting started. I truly believe where I'm working here, we're going to see one of our women's teams win a national championship, and so to be able to be a part of it, be a part of this continued growth, I think it's just as exciting as looking back to see how far we've come.
Back at U of L Lacrosse Stadium, it's halftime, and the Louisville women's lacrosse squad leading the Vanderbilt Commodores 8-5 in the Derby City. The rain has started to hold off a little bit more on a dreary day, but the Cardinals, Patty Norton, started hot, up 4-0 early.
Sure did. I mean, it's a lot of new faces bringing the ball in, but it's Hannah Morris putting the ball away.
And occasionally getting help from a unwitting teammate. And a great goal in that first half from Haley Reek, the freshman who ran through everybody. But Louisville has had its opportunities. Vanderbilt, though, got it back to 4-2, scored a couple of tight angle goals. Maddie Souza squeezing one in. And the Commodores got it back to a 3-goal deficit a couple of times. They got it to 2-goal deficits. And they have been patient, Patty, in trying to get back on the board.
They really have. They haven't tried to do it in bunches. They just keep doing their same job. They haven't forced any free position shots that weren't exactly what they wanted. And they had a goalie change. They've done everything very slow and kind of just everything within their normal mode of operations to try and cut into the lead and get back to making this their game. I'll tell you what, though, all this work that's being done in the goal for, like, scoring goals for them, not their normal characters. Like, we have not seen a goal from Bree Gross yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen a goal from the player who came into the game leading her team in Bree Gross. Gabby Fournier has not really been a huge offensive factor. You look at the stats from the first half, they are fairly even. And we'll see if Louisville can maintain the 3-goal edge it has on the visiting Commodores. Second half coming up. We are ready to go in the second half. Both teams showing a little different look in goal. Jay Pleck, as planned, the goalkeeper rotation with Sarah Adesh will come in. Pleck is a freshman this year, has played plenty throughout the course of the season, and she will man the pipes for Louisville in the second half. And then for Vanderbilt, they have also been rotating their goalkeepers at some points throughout the season. Lexi DeRozier was put in the first half and has stayed in goal to start the second for the Commodores. Jeff Greer, Patty Norton here with you. Louisville up 3, Patty, and they've managed to keep Vanderbilt kind of at a half arm's length throughout the course of this.
Right. I think both teams are sticking to their own game plans and trying to appear as though we're doing what we do. We're not doing anything because of you. but I think when we do see glimpses of Louisville holding a little bit of advantage, it's when we see the frustration fouls that come from Vanderbilt.
Well, speaking of, Gabby Fournier sent to the sidelines, a 2-minute penalty for Vanderbilt's star, the table setter for the Commodores. She does have an assist today, as well as a draw
to
control.
not have a couple goals in this game, that's where her frustration comes from.
Yeah, and it's been a big season for her, but she was whistled for the infraction, and then another one there for Louisville as Allegra Catalano draws the foul, and it's going to be a 2-player advantage for Louisville. Paige Finneran trotting off for the Commodores. And a bad start to the second half if you're Vandy.
Finneran trying to say, I barely touched her. Doesn't matter.
1:47 with 2.
And the rain has begun.
2 up for Louisville, and the rain pours down. And for people who are not from the area, they just never know what you're going to get each spring in Louisville. It could be beautiful from February on.
You don't like the change? Don't worry about it. You don't like the weather? Don't worry. It'll change in just a couple minutes.
As the Cardinals trying to take advantage here and get some space between them and Vanderbilt again. This is a big non-conference game for both teams. Nicole Perrone restarting. 2 top 30 RPI squads.
She gets the opportunity to restart on the 12, and the defender has to go behind her, as opposed to if they were inside, then she would get a free position shot.
Perrone looked like she wanted to catch and shoot there. The pass a little behind her.
From distance. Whoa.
Knocked down in there. I believe that was Kylie Dobson, it was. And she's going to have a free position opportunity here early into this third quarter.
Dobson, another young Canadian playing for Teeter.
And she shoots that just wide, but Louisville will retain possession.
Should kickstart a new shot clock.
And a free position opportunity coming for Caroline Blaylock. A big opportunity here for the Cardinals with their leader. Huge chance here for Blaylock after the break, and a save.
I'm not sure if that was the goalie stick or the pipe.
DeRoser in the frame. We'll have to get a replay to make sure. Either way, a bullet dodged by Vanderbilt with one of the top players in the ACC in a free position opportunity.
Great feed.
Good pass inside, and Catalano takes a big hit.
And we're another player getting sent off.
It's Ashley Sampone who will go off. And the Cardinals.
Is there anybody left on the field in goal?
Cardinals now a 3-player advantage.
I mean, when you split the field into zones, like you can make it where you don't feel it as much, but
that's very rare.
It's a lot of writing by the referees right now. This is not common.
This is very rare. 3 players serving penalty time for Vanderbilt.
Right now he's checking to make sure he understands who's coming back when and which ones are releasable. So since we can't see what was written down, we don't know if any of those are. So basically when you score a goal, the people in the penalty box are released. But sometimes there's non-releasables. So we'll see if right now, if Catalano scores this, if we come back to even. Oh, taking a page out of the Vanderbilt playbook.
Opting to keep possession for a little bit longer and see if they can get a different look. Maybe they didn't like the angle, but
well, you should have more offensive players than defensive.
As that shot fizzes by, Rulapah trying to sneak it in.
Plenty of time on the shot clock. This is a great opportunity to eat clock and feel the confidence that you can score when you wish to because of the difference in. Oh, great defense. That is a huge, huge win for Vanderbilt.
Taylor Sampone able to get her stick in there and deflect it, but then the turnover from Vandy defeats the momentum there. That's a big turnover and
a
an
brand new
unforced
shot
error.
clock.
full shot clock for Louisville.
So basically, you get to eat clock knowing they are not going to challenge you outside the 12 because they don't have the bodies to do it.
5 defenders, and they are packed in. And another turnover. Great defensive play from Vanderbilt. The interception by Bree Gross, and here she comes.
Defense has got to hustle down and stand them up.
Louisville actually will have more defenders than Vandy will be able to deal with here. 70 seconds in this possession. We'll see when players are let back on. And the Commodores happy to eat up as much time as they can, but we get a whistle, a timeout. Vanderbilt will call it down 3.
Pumped. They are pumped about that stop, being 3-man down and have a defensive stop. Incredible.
Twice
incredible.
they had it. And that's what they'll be celebrating in a timeout shuffle. 108, or excuse me, huddle, 108 to go on the player up opportunity for Louisville. And Scott Teeter not happy.
Well, he's got to tell them, listen, calm down, play your game. Now, if you're looking at who's been making any of the little unforced errors, one's a new player that's stepping in for Natoli, but everybody else, just do your job. You're not being asked to, defend 2 people at once or, score 3 goals at once. Just do your job.
Scott Teeter's team 5-7 this season. We've gotten some nice wins. This would be a good one to have on the resume.
This is a big one. And they've got to find a way right now to keep their confidence high and keep their foot on the gas.
You talk about Vanderbilt 7-4 coming into this game. 0-1 in their conference. That is about to pick up. They were tied second. Florida, you mentioned earlier, Patty, a top team in the country.
Yeah.
But Vandy, just like Louisville, has quality losses, and their schedule is going to be pretty good.
Right, and actually in chatting with Coach Hewitt, you talk about Temple. Holy moly, that's a big lot. Normally in your conference, Florida, like they're top of the table. You always got to worry about them. But she said, when it comes down to Temple playing Florida, I said, well, who's going to win, Temple or Florida? She said, Florida has everything they need to win, but Temple's just so streaky they can upset anybody, especially at home. It's a unique turf situation, and they just play really tough. They think they can beat anybody. So that's why she's like, I think it's going to be an interesting game when they play each other.
We'll have to navigate the American Athletic Conference. Of course, Louisville, a 1-year member of that league before transitioning fully to the ACC from the Big East.
They're just trying to kill the penalties. And
if you're Louisville, what's the benefit to not pressuring here, Patty?
Don't expose yourself. If you're not accustomed to applying pressure past the 12, why would you do that and expose a lane, open up a lane for somebody to run and score? If you think you can hold them whenever they do try, or force a, oh boy.
Perrone came out to meet Vandy and cause a little more havoc.
Louisville gets the ball. That's
actually caused turnover out of it.
So that was well played.
So the Cardinals,
that was the outcome they wanted.
get the ball back. Only 10 seconds on the player up opportunity.
Oh, she's ready.
And it's Ashley Sampone who's hustled back on and is immediately in the defensive picture for Vandy. A cagey start to this third quarter.
Yeah. Kind of waiting to see who's going to, just grab the game by its shoulders and take it, and neither side seems to do it yet. Oh, that's a good feed.
Nice pass to Kokoro Nakazawa, but she was in some tough traffic.
No whistles.
And DeRozier picks it up for Vanderbilt. 10 minutes here in the third quarter, still 8-5.
Doing a slow clear.
This Vandy team seems to be very much intent on the slow burn.
Yeah. Yep.
Offensively, and their defense doing a really good job getting out of a 3-player down situation.
Yeah, they did it with 0 goals against.
2 critical interceptions, and now they have a chance to cut their deficit down to 2. Carly Bucci.
Very comfortable behind the cage. And, I mean, if you look at national rankings on stats and things, Vanderbilt is a passing assisting team. And when rain begins, that's rain is not good for the passing game.
That is
Evidence
just
right
pure
there.
chaos as that pass was into the area. A stream of bodies, and Louisville ends up with it.
And Louisville starting to Vanderbilt starting to counter defend in their offensive end. Whoa, boy.
That's a tough pass out to the far side, but Sarah Blaylock shielding the defender to get it into the attacking area for Louisville. Nice job there.
I expect Louisville start sending cutters, start creeping in towards the 12 and the 8, probably with about 40 seconds to 30 seconds, and hope to get a goal. Hope to get a goal in around the 20-second mark.
Blaylock
start creeping in. Whoa!
Fires in and scores. It's Caroline Blaylock with a big one for Louisville to open the scoring in the second half.
The goal by number 6, Caroline.
That's very
Blaylock.
good. If you're wearing red today, that's a good feeling. Everything was rolling very well, and Caroline probably wasn't scripted that way, but she saw an opportunity and took it. And if Caroline Blaylock is feeling good and her shots are going in, it's a good day for the Cards.
It looked like it may have hit DeRozier and deflected in, but doesn't matter how it goes in. We learned earlier from Allegra Catalano.
That's right.
As long as it's in the back of the net, and Louisville up 9-5 here in the third quarter.
I just thought about, can you imagine the bruise that's forming right now?
Oh,
I don't
it's already there. It is already there for Allegra Catalano.
All right, so Louisville changed up a little, so that's an adjustment they made at halftime. So remember we talked about how the Louisville players were starting on the circle, and then the Vanderbilt players were flying in, not showing their hand too early. So now the Louisville players are sticking back. They're not moving till the Commodores move.
It's an even 8-8 on draw controls until that. Now Louisville +1.
Twin pass.
Blaylock sisters. Caroline 2 minutes older than Sarah. They've made a combined 102 starts now together at Louisville. It's funny, there was an article about the Blaylock sisters before they came to Louisville. Caroline said, we're together like 24/7, and now here they are,
legit.
5 years later, together 24/7 for Louisville.
Oh, great pass. Great catch.
Catalano keeping things alive for Louisville.
Louisville looked like they were setting up a little flip. Oh, great feed.
Nice pass
Missed.
inside, and Blaylock missed it.
She tried to fix her own error by getting to the end line first, but couldn't do it.
Missed opportunity for the Cardinals. A
Yep.
nice pass from Hannah Morris.
And that's an opportunity lost, but it's one that you'll take as far as team adhering to game plan. It wasn't like it was an uncaused turnover. It was a solid shot, and it was a pretty deep into the shot clock. Everybody doing their job well.
Vanderbilt's offense.
See how much time they've got to start doing end of game clock management with just over 20 minutes left in this game.
Definitely a more plodding, meticulous offense, methodical, and they hold on to it through Kayla Rue. But a shaky moment there. Now
great
Rue
feed.
inside, had it knocked out of her stick and collected by Jay Pleck. Pleck, the freshman from Georgia, as we said earlier, rotating with Sarah Adesh.
Just a great, I really like the strategy there. I really like what it does for the team dynamic. You know, both, we talked about in the first half during the timeout how the two goalies were talking with each other and talking with their goalie coach. And everybody's hoping everybody does well because you don't have to worry about playing time, right? It's not like, you know, oh gosh, I want her in the pipe, you know, when I'm playing defense. There's none of that because they know they're getting both goalies.
So Louisville, behind some strong goalkeeping, has the 4-goal lead and trying to add to it on the attacking end.
Oh, that's a good feed.
Good pass inside and a good finish. Kylie Dobson, the sophomore from Canada, gives her team a 5-goal lead. That's where we'll leave things when we come back. Back in the circle, but Louisville up 10-5 on Vanderbilt in the third. The Louisville Cardinals in command here in the third quarter, leading Vanderbilt 10-5 on the ACC Network Extra. Jeff Greer, Patty Norton here with you. 5:09 to go here in the third. And we're back into the circle for a draw between these two teams. But Louisville missed out on a 3-player up opportunity earlier, Patty, but they scratched 2 quick goals here to get a double-up lead on Vandy.
Yeah, you know, and one similarity for both squads right now is it's not the, if you just take Hannah Morris out of the equation, it's not the normal cast of characters doing all the scoring. You know, it's not the normal point racker-uppers. It's a bunch of other names, which is really good since this is your one of your last opportunities to play outside of conference to see who can play what role going into the end of season stretch.
6 different players for Louisville have scored, including a couple of freshmen. Haley Reek had the excellent goal in the first half.
It was like a blip. Like, I don't even know, did it really happen? Where is she right now?
Blur from through the midfield. And scored a nice finish for the Cardinals, and now they will have possession again. This is Nicole Perrone.
Like, she hasn't scored. How weird is that?
It is very odd.
It's very much like Bree Gross not having a goal for Vanderbilt. Perrone doesn't have a goal.
Perrone with 31 goals this season. Bree Gross with 21, both big-time scorers.
Right now, our production staff is saying Pepperoni needs a goal.
Out to the right side, it's Hannah Morris. She's been excellent today. 4 goals after 6 on Thursday.
Just so steady, right? Just, I mean, even, so you know if you score 6 in a game, you're going to get double teamed. You're going to get face guarded. You're going to get a lot of defensive attention. You're going to get knocked around a lot. She just never shows any of it. You know, she never shows like she's upset. Now, Nakazawa, you see her arms flailing, protecting her head. You know what I mean? Like, she's the opposite. She's like the UEFA player on the field.
And here she comes and
there
scores. It's Kokoro Nakazawa with a big goal off the free position opportunity. And that has Louisville now up 11-5 here in the third quarter. It's been all Cardinals in the second half.
Always talking X's and O's. I love it.
Nakazawa with the comfortable finish down low, beating DeRosier.
And DeRosier is the more acrobatic of the two goalies and likes to crouch, likes to get down low. And even like sometimes like hockey splits, like we'll get down there. But still Nakazawa able to go low.
10 goals now for the sophomore from Japan, matching her output from last year. Plays on the under-19 team for the Japanese national setup. And the Cardinals have to feel very good about the way this third quarter has gone, even after missing out on a 3-player opportunity.
It felt like momentum had swung in Vanderbilt's direction after the killing of the 3 penalties. But Louisville, remember I said, it's like everybody's waiting for somebody to just grab the game and take it, and I think Louisville's doing that right now.
Talk about earlier, one bad quarter for both of these teams, and this is still 4 minutes left, but Vanderbilt might feel like this is that for them with the penalties and the 3 goals conceded.
Yeah, they resurrected the first quarter. That wasn't a a bad time for them. You know, it started off 4-0, but they wound up, you know, chipping away at it. This might be it. Even though it's only 3 goals so far, but none on the Vanderbilt side. They need to score a goal right now in the second half just to get things opened up again.
Waiting for the go-ahead, Melissa Hawkins, but the referees have to talk about it.
Nothing more frustrating on the field. They have the opportunity to wear headsets and things like that, but sometimes you still just need to walk over and talk about it.
And restart. Melissa Hawkins trying to guide the proceedings for Vanderbilt. And that's where she leaves it in good position for the Commodores. 3.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Down 6 Vanderbilt. They've been very methodical in the way they've approached their offense today, but they're starting to run out of time. Bucci.
Good restart from up top. Spread it back out again. See who's going to give you your pass, your driving lanes.
This is Bree Gross trying to find something here. Gabby Fournier, just the 1 assist today so far. Trying to get around Blaylock. Good defending from Louisville.
Really good. Louisville sticking with the man-to-man defense, and it's paying off. It's a lot of work. Whoop, she just got beat.
Bucci spins off of Osborne, but fizzed her shot wide.
It was a good opportunity for Bucci. Just could not put the oomph on the shot she needed in order to keep it in between the pipes.
1 goal on 4 attempts today for Bucci, and Louisville now a chance to eat up more time.
Good work by Osborne.
This is where you start to look at the clock a little bit more if you're Vanderbilt. Bodies flying in every direction. And Louisville keeps the ball as Taylor Sampone took the hit.
Yeah, Louisville definitely going to spread the offense, try and eat as much of this shot clock as possible.
Rulapa, the freshman, had it knocked away by a Sampone sister.
Ooh.
And Vandy then will keep possession after the foul, the 9th of the game for Louisville. Against Vanderbilt's 23 fouls today.
I mean, and that's, if we were to compare yellow cards, that's an entirely different conversation.
Certainly racked them up, the Commodores have.
Well, they match their uniforms better. I'll tell you what's tough about, whoa, wide open lane. Let's see who's going to crash on it.
Final minute of this third quarter and an opportunity for Kayla Rue, but
knocked the stick head.
Louisville recovers.
Nope.
And then Vanderbilt
Oh,
lost it.
Maggie Foster just picked her pocket.
That is a big defensive stand after it looked like an open pathway to goal.
They can. So let's see if they change, if they end this quarter a little different than the second quarter and get a shot off before the end of these 26 seconds.
And we got a timeout.
Teeter's probably calling the
Scott
timeout to
Teeter
draw a play.
wants a timeout to talk things over. 20.9 seconds to go in the third quarter, and Louisville
Where's my board?
is going to discuss it. So this is just constant game planning, isn't it,
Yeah.
Patty?
Yep.
This is what he's just trying to keep crafting his team's mindsets here.
And when you're a coach that has been there before, you're not worried about all the other distraction stuff, and you're just like, wait, I got to teach them how to be ready for this in the next game. So you're not, with 11-5, you feel pretty good right now, but oh my God, here's an end of quarter, could be end of game, could be end of overtime learning opportunity, right? Teachable moment. You got to grab them when you can. Grab them when they're live moments like that.
It's Nicole Perrone, scoreless today. with 31 goals. You see Hannah Morris with 4.
I don't want to jinx anything, but I think she has a scoring streak that goes into last year. Pretty sure I read that in my in my Louisville notes. I think it's like a 14 or so game scoring streak. I'll check it for you.
Nicole Perrone certainly does not want to miss out on that, but she'll be happy with her team's position here. Final 20.9 seconds of this third quarter, and the Cardinals up 6 in a vital non-conference tilt against Vanderbilt.
And, you know, we talked about how these two teams are eager and welcoming to have this become a big-time rivalry, right? So this game, Louisville won the last one last year. If they could get, and that was at Vanderbilt, so if they could secure this one, that does a lot for as far as like if you want to recruit this this base of students, you know, you're like, hey, this is a feather in the winner's hat.
Louisville is 4-1 all time against Vanderbilt in the city of Louisville.
I am going to find that about Perrone.
Okay,
Don't you
I like
worry.
it.
I'm going to find
maybe we'll have that for the fourth quarter. Maybe we won't need it. We'll see how these final 20 seconds go. Louisville.
Maybe she just hears us talking and says, okay, I'll just score and get it over with.
Down to 10 seconds in this third quarter. Can Louisville make it a 7-goal lead? Blaylock to Morris, 3 seconds. And they are not going to get a shot off. The Cardinals, that's how the quarter ends. 11-5 Louisville after 3. The Cards now 15 minutes away from win number 6 and a pivotal non-conference victory on their NCAA tournament resume. It's a very happy, rainy afternoon for Louisville fans. We'll cheer on even when we're getting rained on, she says, from the bleachers. Louisville up 11-5 into the fourth quarter on the visiting Vanderbilt Commodores. Jeff Greer, Patty Norton here with you on the ACC
There's no
Network
energy
Extra.
deficit in the stands.
No,
none at
there
all.
isn't. Louisvillians never let a little rain get in their way.
Derby day, game day, doesn't matter.
All you need for Derby Day is a couple of trash bags for your shoes.
That's right.
That's all you need, a couple plastic bags. Well, Vanderbilt will need to flip on the boosters here for the fourth quarter as Louisville is trying to protect its lead. It's Rachel
New draw
Lifson.
control kid.
Yeah, Lifson in there for Louisville. Going up against Megan Manginas. And Vanderbilt corrals it. This is a big possession here for the Commodores.
Manginas did such a great job getting the draw and then just felt the pressure on her and ejected the pass early.
Instead, Louisville has possession and a chance to eat up a lot of clock here in the start of this fourth quarter.
Yeah, they'll eat a bunch. They'll stay far. They will just remain at the perimeter of the attack zone until the perfect opportunity presents itself. Oh, great feed. Oh, great
And a
stop.
Good save from DeRoser. Really a much needed save here if Vanderbilt wants to come back. They've got to try to do whatever it takes to keep Louisville off the score sheet.
DeRoser doing a great job dropping to her knees, having that huge stick head, you know, closing the rest of the gaps there. It's good stuff.
Comes Melissa Hawkins and Vanderbilt. They've got to be meticulous here and quick.
Yeah, no more waste, no wasted opportunities. They have to be more efficient in their.
Maddie Souza, really just not a whole lot of urgency here from Vanderbilt. Souza trying to get into the area, nice pass, and there was a shot avenue there, but not taken, and Louisville ends up running away with it.
Twins, side by side, crisscrossing. Oh, they're making their own weave.
Caroline Blaylock carrying, Sarah Blaylock staying with her. Good pass inside and a big 2-goal swing. It went from a great opportunity for Vanderbilt to a goal for Louisville, just like that. And Kylie Dobson scoring on the feed from Caroline Blaylock, and Louisville goes up 7.
Back-to-back goals. It's a good little confidence boost there. About to head into a bunch of tough ACC games. It's another tool another scoring tool you want to have fired up.
Member of the U19 Canadian national team at the World Championships. 10 goals now for the season. She had the hat trick against Ohio State. And a big performance today as well with a couple of goals, and now Louisville's up 7 with 13 minutes to go. The rain just driving down now here in the Derby City. How does rain affect a lacrosse game, Patty?
Passing. So this turf is amazing, and it's a very good draining turf. You don't have to worry about any of that. You know, sometimes you'll see some games on TV and you'll see standing water in parts. Not an issue here, but just like football, right? Like passing helps the running game, or I mean, like rain helps the running game because passing is tricky. Same thing here. You know, the stick heads, the netting gets wet, and sometimes it doesn't hold the ball as well, or just doesn't eject the ball the same.
We'll certainly navigate the elements today. We've had some windy games this season, and now...
Yeah, wind is not an issue here, nor is temperature a problem today. So you can handle rain if it's like not impeding your progress because the wind doesn't have it coming straight into your face, or it's too cold that your fingers feel like they're going to crack when the rain is hitting them. This is a nice spring rain. We'll take it.
Lexi DeRoser from...
Not afraid to come out of cage.
Yeah, Ponte Vedra Beach native.
She's in midfield.
And Vanderbilt has to pick up the urgency here, down 7. Commodores need some quick strikes to get back into this thing. It's a foul called there on Hannah Morris. So now Vandy has a chance in the attacking space.
Dodge, dodge, dodge.
Free position opportunity coming for Josie Ward, the freshman from Nashville, a hometown kid for Vandy.
So you'll see she changed position like 4 times, and as soon as she got within the reach of Maggie Foster, she just popped her.
Now Vandy, we'll see if they're a little bit more direct here. Last couple times.
I'd have to think you can't pass up scoring opportunities.
And that's exactly what happens, but the shot misses.
Vanderbilt retains.
Ward ended up on the turf. Vanderbilt keeps it. Souza fires in and hit the crossbar.
And actually, I think Pleck deflected it into the crossbar.
Pleck got a piece of it. And
Great
Vanderbilt
tracking.
Missed opportunity there.
I mean, didn't they learn from Louisville earlier? Put your shoulder in front of that deflection. Goes right into the goal every time.
14 shots attempted by Vanderbilt today to Louisville's 21.
Little flip pass.
And poked away by Foster.
Oh.
Ball is loose.
It's all good till you do that swipe.
Stays with
From
Vanderbilt.
north to south, when you swipe north to south and there's another human standing within that area, you're in trouble. That gets a whistle, and they get the ball. Oh, great deflection.
And Foster ends up scooping it up as Louisville.
Great job of off-ball movement for Louisville's defense. You know, just having your stick head ready to get in the way of any passes.
Louisville averting the defensive challenge, and now a chance to eat up some clock again. Final 10 minutes of the fourth quarter, up 7. This would be a big win for the Cardinals.
Whoop.
Osborne took a hit there. She'll restart for the Cards.
Now, Osborne is not an attacker, normally not playing in the attacking third, so the entire defense just fanned off her and covered everybody else, so she's like, well, shoot, I'll go.
Melissa Hawkins with a good catch-up defensive play, though, for Vandy to take the ball away. Osborne robbed of a glory moment here in the fourth quarter. And a timeout called by Vanderbilt. 9:14 to go in the fourth quarter. Louisville up 7 on the visiting Commodores, and Beth Hewitt wants to talk it over.
Drawing up a 7-point play right now. There's no such thing.
I don't know if those cups have any liquid in them. They should just collect the rainwater as it runs through. So Louisville and Vanderbilt taking a pause here. Patty, at this point,
I don't see Coach Teeter doing anything different. He's talking to them about taking care of the ball. So lock in, take care of the ball. No free turnovers, no free opportunities for Vanderbilt. But I also don't see him making any kind of significant substitutions. I think he wants his starters, his predominant line players, to take care of this game to the final blow, final whistle. Now on the other side, I think you've got to take some chances if you're Vanderbilt.
Well, this is a big opportunity here for Louisville. We mentioned the possible top 30 RPI win, and then you have the game at Pittsburgh. You would think that they would be favored there, and a couple of other tough games on that schedule the rest of the way for the Cardinals. But this is the big start of what Scott Teeter said. They got to win 4 out of their last 5 now.
You know, I had a chance to talk with Coach Teeter earlier, or actually on Sunday morning, after they had an early morning practice in Scout, and I just chatted with him. I was like, you know what? I can remember when this program, when Louisville started, and Vanderbilt still felt like a very new program, but just where this game ended up in the season, the way it laid out, it kind of always tipped the hat of what the rest of the season was going to bring for Louisville. Like if Louisville beat Vanderbilt, then they were up for a strong finish. If Louisville lost to Vanderbilt, then the last 4 or 5 games were going to be a battle and might not make the tournament. So this has always been a telltale game for Louisville on the schedule since it's been a program.
Well, today it's a telltale sign that they are in good shape, as they could be very much on their way to a 6-7 record. And
there's a couple, you don't want to say they're automatic wins built in, but there's a couple wins ahead of them to ensure that they have a shot at being 500 plus by the time that selection committee has to get inside their little selection room.
And big measuring stick games against Syracuse and Notre Dame as well.
1 away, 1 at home.
Driving rain at U of L Lacrosse Stadium. For those who don't know, it's right next to Cardinal Football Stadium on U of L's campus.
Floyd Street has it all.
Floyd Street has it all. Sandwiched between the basketball facility, where the lacrosse team has lockers and their team room, and the football stadium on the other side.
Normally, you can tell it's raining because normally those picnic tables, normally we see at least 1 or 2 dogs hanging out down there. I love when people bring their pets. It's the best time.
The ball is knocked away there. Nice defending from Louisville. And the Cardinals have really locked down. They have yet to give up a goal here in this second half. And really not a whole lot of great opportunities for Vanderbilt.
Perrone with it inside.
And I believe that may have taken a hit, but she missed the frame.
All right, what did we find out about Perrone?
14-game goal-scoring streak for Nicole Perrone running back to last year. So she's got to get on the board to keep that going.
No pressure. You got 8 minutes.
No pressure for the junior from Canada. Typically gets on the score sheet, obviously, so just got to find a way to get on it today. Morris. To find a Perrone. And a free position opportunity coming.
The refs heard us talking.
And Perrone will have the chance to do it. Can
Look at
she
that rain.
Continue the 15-game goal-scoring streak and driving rain against Vanderbilt? Perrone.
Oh!
Off the face mask.
Whoa, what a save.
Not entirely sure Lexi DeRosa knew a whole lot about what just happened.
She doesn't know where the ball is right now, but it was a good save.
Perrone put it right off the face mask. And will be disappointed.
And that's an interesting choice. Perrone saw her save a couple low, so I mean it's not a.
And that goal's gonna stand.
That's gonna be a goal.
That counts. The 15-game goal-scoring streak now for Nicole Perrone. All that build-up and she got it. And the Cardinals are up 8 in the fourth quarter against Vanderbilt. We're at the exact halfway point of the fourth quarter. Louisville up 8 on Vanderbilt. We know that Team Canada is going to have a heavy Louisville influence. Head coach Scott Teeter. Nicole Perrone just scored for the Cardinals. Some players, some alums. We know the under-19s will have them too.
So Kay was assistant coach on the under-19s, but now those two are playing together on the senior women's team, which was the squad you just saw. And then the other assistant for Louisville, Allison Daly, defensive coach, goalie coach, she's an assistant coach for Team Canada also. So he's going to get you one way or another. If you have anything to do with a maple leaf, you will have your feet on the Louisville campus at some point in your career.
Scott Teeter has Louisville feeling very good today about what could be an NCAA tournament boosting victory, what should be anyway. And an 8-goal lead here on Vanderbilt with 7 minutes and change to go feels pretty solid. Never say never, but Vanderbilt's offense has had a hard time here in the second half.
It is feeling good, but like I said, I don't see any sweeping substitutions that are going to take place. I think when you're at this point of the season, you need to have your lines set, and you need to be able to send the selection committee a message with whether you belong in the tournament or not.
Kokoro Nakazawa, free position opportunity. The sophomore was devastated when she missed out on the free position against Virginia at a pivotal moment. And she scores there to get to 14-5. And all smiles today for Nakazawa. She's been good.
It was a smooth start from the free position shot, no hitch. Whistle went, she advanced, scored.
She's got a goal now, 2 goals, I believe, plus an assist for Nakazawa, her 11th of the season. That's right, 2nd goal today. And she's got her team very comfortably in front by 9.
And you can see, a lot of times attackers are told to shoot low, shoot at ankles. But this goalie for Vanderbilt does a really good job at getting low. So the last couple goals you've seen waist high or higher.
Really good finishing today for Louisville. 14 goals from 20 shots on frame. They're winning the draw controls battle, and they are plus 16 in the fouls called. Vanderbilt 28 times whistled for an infraction today to Louisville's 12. Under 7 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. And that's a hard hit across Josie Ward, the freshman from Nashville.
We are seeing some more faces. I saw Fegus for Louisville in the midfield, part of the draw control team.
Free position opportunity coming for Ward. She goes right to goal and goes over the frame.
And that was Kirsten Parker that just got called in that foul. So we do see a couple fresh faces coming in for Louisville.
Molly Finlay, the freshman from Virginia, getting a chance here for Vanderbilt.
Somebody's got to find Bree Gross.
Here comes Finlay. It's a tight angle on Jay Pleck, and Pleck makes the save. Nice grab.
Well done. I'll tell you what, both goalies for Louisville have had a day.
That's Pleck's first official save, but she's been a factor in a couple other
she had a
stops.
deflection. She definitely had a deflection.
And then Adesh had 5 saves in the first half. But Pleck is the one who's going to be hoping to get a shutout in the second half if things hold as Whistle stops play on the near side.
Lifson kept getting possession, losing possession, getting possession, losing possession.
The clock keeps running. And Louisville's best friend at this point
Is the clock, Mr.
is
Clock.
on that scoreboard. Elaine Fegus on the field, as Patty mentioned. Looks like Izzy Sekel is out there as well.
A lot of young faces getting some time.
Cards just happy to eat up as much clock as they can. Down under 20 on the shot clock.
Whoa.
And the pass was a little high there from Dobson, and now Vanderbilt will have a chance to get it clear.
Lauren Fegus is like, either I can catch up to you or I can knock you over. I think I'm going to go with knock you over.
Fegus, a freshman from Parkland, Florida, is going to head over to the sidelines.
Nakazawa wanted to go over and talk to her, like, oh, I can't, she's in the penalty box.
2-minute advantage here for Vanderbilt.
They need to move with some urgency. They need to put a couple goals on the scoreboard. Recognizing it's not going to get you the win, but it's going to gain you a little bit of respect in the selection committee.
Just a very plotting style of offense, just not built really to come back, it doesn't seem like.
I remember back in the day when Louisville used to be in conference with Georgetown. That was the most frustrating thing in the world. They used to run like literally a basketball 3-man weave and just pass the ball around. And then but that's back when there was no shot clock. But their stick skills were so amazing. You just couldn't, you could pressure it all you wanted, but they would jump in, they'd get a lead, and then they'd hold the ball. Very Bill Belichick. The rest of the game, very frustrating.
That is
thus
frustrating.
The emergence of the shot clock.
Yeah. Well, Vanderbilt gets
goal.
one back as Ella Smith, the sophomore from Oregon.
Sarah Blaylock saying no goal. She was in the crease.
It was close. And instead it's waved off, and now Louisville with the chance.
I think half of that save needs to go to Caroline Blaylock. Or not Caroline, Sarah Blaylock.
With the pointing out
Big
to the
lobbying.
officials.
Big lobbying.
And the Cardinals trying desperately to avoid the infraction.
You're gonna see the attacker. She finished in the crease, but I think the shot was off before then.
You can see
when
Ella
it's not
Smith
your
not
day,
happy.
it's not your day.
Yeah, she's not happy with that call. And Vanderbilt will have to restart again. Down to 3.5 minutes. The Commodores.
Sometimes you get away with that if you're pushed into the crease, but she didn't appear to be pushed into the crease either.
This is Ward.
Oh, that was a great pass.
That's a good pass and a good
Great
finish. Bree Gross gets on the board.
There it is.
Her first goal of the day, just her second shot of the day. And it's 14-6 with 3:13 to go.
Number 33, Bree Gross.
Knew it had to happen. Had to happen. Just a great spin and release.
That's Gross's 22nd goal of the season.
When you have that many, it's not an accident. So I think you'd have to a point of moving forward for Vanderbilt has got to be we've got to force it into her stick. We can't let play go. Louisville did credit Louisville's defense today. They did a great job in their one-on-one game, their man-to-man game plan, but you just got to find a way to get it in Bree's stick.
Bree Gross will reclaim the lead as Vanderbilt's leading scorer. She had been tied by Carly Bucci at 21 before getting that one to notch it back up to 22. 3:13 to go. Louisville up 8. Cardinals trying to turn back 2-game losing streak from 2 really close games. They lost by 1 to Virginia and 1 to Ohio State in overtime. Heartbreakers.
Vanderbilt retains possession.
Cardinals 1 step closer to being 500 again.
Oh, great
nice
pass.
Inside, but it was quickly recovered by Louisville's defense. I think Sarah Blaylock again had a hand in that. A nice little scoop pass ahead. Jenny Grace now running clear for Louisville.
Or Grace Jenny, either way. Her name's Grace Jenny.
Grace Jenny.
She gets that all the time, don't you worry. But Kirsten Parker did a great job of securing the ball and then a great sidearm flip to advance it.
I'm going to blame the newborn on the misreading of.
Hey, you're good.
It's literally right here on my roster.
It's all good.
Grace Jenny, one of the players who is getting some extended time here in the 4th quarter.
Gosh, an 8-goal difference will do that for you.
Final 2 minutes, Louisville in very much control here in the second half, just with 1 goal from Vanderbilt as Blaylock gets in and almost slots it home.
Dobson doing a great job of knowing her role, staying back at X, staying back on the end line, ready for any errant shots.
And there she is,
yep.
Kylie Dobson. Great past 2 games. Nice
wow.
pass inside
well
of the goal
done.
for Allegra Catalano.
I think Dauber might be the new assist person of the future.
Dobson with 2 goals and now an assist today.
You know, when somebody's comfortable running, starting behind the cage and seeing everything unfold behind the cage, that's a great recipe for an assist leader of the future.
And it was a good high pass, high catch from Catalano.
Yep, makes you ready to shoot.
Allegra Catalano.
Did you see her stretching her shoulder? That's like literally she's stretching her right shoulder where she scored the other goal.
24 goals this season, and she scored 1 normal one today and 1 that really was not normal at all. She took a deflection off of Hannah Morris's shot earlier in this one, straight off the shoulder and back in. So a more traditional goal scoring here in the 4th quarter for the junior from Florida.
Ice, please. Can we get some ice?
That is, yeah, that shot is gonna leave a mark for a while.
1.5 minutes left. Pretty much 1 shot clock. I can do that math.
4-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. The second half was really brutal.
I can't tell who's taking the draw for Louisville.
It's McKee.
Is it? She's back in.
But Vanderbilt ends up with it. Trying to get quickly into their offense. Kayla Rue is leading the line for the Commodores.
She's done a lot of the heavy lifting today. We've called her name a lot. She's had possession of the ball in her stick for a good portion of this game. Whoa.
Shot a little high from Josie Ward. But you're right, Kayla Rue today, her stat line, a goal, 2 ground balls, 4 draw controls.
Yep, it's busy. Hey!
Shot saved there from Jay Pleck. I think she had a pretty good eye on it as Souza shot at it.
A lot of mess right there.
Final minute, and Louisville in control.
Pleck could technically hold it for the rest of the game.
Tossed it out to the right. The Cardinals will try to see this thing out. Bree Lang, the freshman from Upper St. Clair, Pennsylvania, near Pittsburgh.
I'm sorry, but if you play a sport and your last name's Lang, would you not go by Clubber?
You're aging yourself
I know.
there with that reference.
I don't care. I would totally.
I did it the other day with Top Gun. I felt like I dated myself. Final 10 seconds. Louisville is going to end
This is a big one.
With a 6th win here, a huge win against the number 26 team in the RPI rankings to add to the NCAA tournament resume. And that is where things end. The final score, Louisville 15.
Gotta be happy. 15 goals on Louisville's side, but my goodness, their defense was so impressive. Stood up a very strong Vanderbilt Commodore offense and got to feel good about chances going forward.
15-6 is your final. Vanderbilt held to just 1 goal in the second half. A dominant performance from Louisville after the halftime break especially, and the Cardinals improved to 6-7. Vanderbilt falling to 7-5. For Patty Norton, our producer Jeremy No, I am Jeff Greer. Thank you so much for joining us on the ACC Network Extra.